There we go. So I had Microsoft meetings, and for some reason, obviously, it wasn't working. Um, so I went online and I found Google, and I tried it. I tried to send it to myself, and I had my cell phone. So I
Right.
so I know it works. So you could use your laptop. I'm just saying, if it worked for my cell phone, it'll work for your laptop.
Okay.
But you got it.
Yeah. I
So
just
here we go.
I'm getting something here. Hold on. I want to put something here to hold this phone up so I don't have to hold it. Hold on.
Next time, do the laptop, but at least we know it works now. Google. I'm going to get rid of Microsoft Meetings. That would just, I don't know
Yeah,
what was.
well, the laptop is a nice, it's a bigger picture and screen too. You know.
And then you see how this layout is here on Microsoft. Mine was down in the corner, and fuck Microsoft.
Okay.
Anyways, this is the new layout of the dungeon. It's a little different, but we're in two different states,
Right. Undisclosed.
undisclosed. I just got banged on the window by my wife, so I got to keep it down a little bit. But we got it. Now we're gonna get the kinks out of this thing, and we might have to do a weekly dungeon. I have some special guests that are gonna be lined up on a weekly basis, surprise
Good.
guests. And well, welcome, Uncle Al. How are you doing?
Hello.
We have our thousands of fans that just want to hear the wisdom from Uncle Al and some pointers on what we should be doing in the future.
Well, first of all, it's great to come at you from two undisclosed locations, but our fans understand we have to move around from time to time and stay one step ahead of, you know. But there's a lot of news that's been going on since our last dungeon meeting. Now, we'll be able to catch up conveniently with this new technology, but
As you can see my hat, you know who I'm supporting.
yeah, once again, they went after him again today.
He's going to be indicted probably next Wednesday or something. They're just going to
Yeah,
keep going. They're just going to keep going.
right. It never ends. So I think our fans, there's a lot of news to catch up, but I still can't believe they just closed Cocaine Gate after 11 days. Now, my sources tell me that bag of white powder had initials HB, but they still have no clues, and yet they keep indicting people from January 6th. That investigation never stops.
They are able to find a 78-year-old lady who was walking past the Capitol, never went in. They could find them, but they can't find a person that left illegal drugs in the most secure building in the world.
Correct. So I think to use that as an example of the unfairness that goes on is paramount. There's many other examples, but after 11 days in the most secure place in America, we'll just shut it down and move on to the next store.
Now there's a guy that I listen to sometimes, or I see some of his videos, Dan Bongino, and he was a Secret Service agent. And
Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
he said there's no way they don't know who it is.
I
In,
know.
in fact, he says he got calls yesterday or whenever they know what they know exactly what's going on.
Of course. Of
Now,
course.
now, I also
Okay.
I also heard, and I might believe him, maybe it might not be Hunter's. It might be another Biden family member,
Understood.
which wouldn't surprise me. As one person said, they asked the people who knew the Bidens pretty well, can you describe the family? And they said, I could describe the family in one word: trash.
Oh, there's others in the family. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. It's just, you know, we have 2 years of a Russian hoax investigation, the Mueller, and this thing, 11 days. That's it. We're done.
It's an embarrassment. It's an
Oh,
embarrassment. They've been lying. They've been lying, and we've been talking about it, Uncle Al, over the last few years. They've been lying about everything. Everything.
it's so bad. Like I said, just this is another one to put in the category of the the fake news. And boy, it's laughable and it's a shame. So we'll see. Like I said, all you do is move on.
Now
But
let's go to your beloved state of Illinois.
ooh,
I see that the Supreme Court of Illinois has ruled that the Safety Act that Toilet Pritzker passed
oh,
is legal, so they can let the criminals out of jail on zero cash bail. They don't got to pay nothing; they just walk out.
yep. That happened today. Looks like 2 months, right around September-ish. No cash bail. And it's already bad enough here, but you know, JB Toilets Pritzker never ceases to amaze. And, you know, we got Kim Fox, some states, I don't know, some guy named Kwame Raoul. But during the riots, the summer of George Floyd, you never seen the guy as the city burnt to the ground.
He's your Attorney General of Illinois.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So, you know, yeah, and then I mean, in Illinois, it's all over. We have a successor at Operation Push because the Reverend Jesse Jackson is stepping aside. I mean,
I
they're probably going to name a street after him. We already got what, Juneteenth, so we got to have another federal holiday, Jesse Jackson Day. And yeah,
I saw the lovely Heels Up Harris gave a speech today praising the Reverend, and she talked with her best Southern black accent because that's what she does. She panders, and I'm just wondering now, how many kids does the Reverend actually have now? Does he have more? Did they find any more that he has?
well, you know, the one, if, you know, again, we failed to recognize, you know, he supported what was called then the Decatur Six, these six thugs that, you know, but never mind that. And yeah, Operation Push was secretly sending money to the love child that he born.
Yeah.
And was the father too, but pay no attention to that. That's not news. And how he strong armed Budweiser and his son Yusuf, useless Jackson, has a prominent position. And once he got that position, you know, the Reverend and all his cronies called off the boycott that was about to happen mysteriously. So, you know, but like I said, they'll name a street after him, a building, and we'll have to have a federal holiday.
The Reverend.
I'll tell you.
Has there been any updates on your favorite musical star that used to live by you before he got a 30-year prison sentence?
No, I can tell you that the papers are mum. But crime, now I think I was telling you at one other time here, the bank that I bank at, we had two gentlemen who, let's just say, wore hoodies and came in on a Saturday right into the bank lobby, 1:15 on a Saturday afternoon, and robbed the place. So, you know, crime is getting close to home. So thank goodness JB Toilets Pritzker and the Safety Act will just, I mean, crime will probably disappear after that bill goes into effect. Just doesn't stop. Illinois, ILL, ill.
And has there been any positive feedback on Chicago's new mayor, Brandon Johnson?
Well, like Mayor de Blasio of New York, we call him Comrade Brandon Johnson. And he's got some new programs, social programs. So throw more money at the problem. And he's had barbecues, which brings the community together. But then after the barbecue, there was some shootings later that day. So, he's allocating a lot of tax dollars towards social programs, which will get the gangbangers off the street.
Yeah, I'm sure that will help. I heard his first program was the Yellow Vest, where they have the yellow vest walking around, and the yellow vest people were committing crimes.
Yeah. They didn't do a good vetting job of,
No.
When these people came in and submitted their resumes. If you just left that part blank about a criminal history, it was just overlooked. And it's all about diversity. So you got the yellow vest, you got paid, and so
Those
looks like that program is money well spent.
Those people are they are auditioning to work for the current Biden administration. Because in the current Biden administration, you either got to steal luggage, you got to be a tranny,
Yeah.
They got to check one of the boxes, because then they come and say, well, you can't criticize me because otherwise you're a phobic this or phobic that. They just can't say that they suck. They just can't say that.
Correct. So, but I'd like to move on a little current news today, if I could. Our fans enjoy when we, take a right or left turn with our news stories. I'll tell you what, we had a little somebody walk across into North Korea today. One of our soldiers
Really
went in. Well, we saw a picture of him. He had just gotten out 47 days in jail. One of our military men in South Korea, where he served. Little dust up, and after 47 days, they took him to the airport to fly back to the United States. He was going to get discharged, and they dropped him off, and he changed clothes, got on some tour bus back to the border of North and South Korea, and walked across the border. So the North Koreans currently have him in custody.
I don't think that's going to turn out very well for him.
I think right now Kim Jong-un has,
AKA Little Rocket Man.
Yeah. So this news just broke today, and I was like, wow. So they showed a picture of him, and once again, it was an urban gentleman who, 47 days in jail. That's actually pretty good for those people, but so right now he's in North Korea. We'll see what happens.
Now, speaking of that, I'm going to ask you a serious question, Uncle Al. Who do you think, when it's all said and done, is going to be the Democratic nominee for president in 2024?
Well, due to health reasons that I think Las Vegas has odds on for the current president, his blunders are increasing, but the news won't show that, of course. You know what? It's interesting because we have a Kennedy. We do have a Kennedy in there.
Give me a name, Uncle Al. Who do you think's right now? Who do you think's going to be?
I'll tell you what. Is it Oprah Winfrey? Is it Michelle Obama? I mean,
who? I'm going with Michael Obama. And I would say that it's ironic, if I didn't know that this was a plan, in my opinion, that for the last year and a half or so, maybe a year, they've been pulling out all this transvestite bullshit. And now you're going to have the first transvestite run for president. And it will be accepted by them. That's why they're doing this.
It's beautiful. Oh, you can. Well, like I said, it's interesting because 2024 ain't that far away. But we'll keep our fans updated
Yeah.
as
And
we get to.
here's an important thing that for 1,000 of your fans out there, thousands and thousands of your fans, Uncle Al, I was talking to a old classmate from grammar school on Facebook recently. I haven't seen him in 30, 40 years, maybe 35 years. I saw him when I was about 20 years old. I went to first, second, and third grade with him, and I just found him on Facebook. I don't really interact with him too much, just post things. And I posted something about Trump, and he said, he responded and he said, yeah, with all these indictments and everything, I'm not sure if he would be the best candidate. We should probably move on. And I said to him, I says, what do you mean indictments? Even if he gets convicted, he could still run. And I just had the conversation with somebody else prior to this. I says, I'll vote for him from jail. He'll get 100 million votes from jail. And he responded to me and says, oh, I don't think a lot of people know that. People should know that. So people think that if somebody is indicted or convicted, they can't run from jail. That is not the case. And if you do a little Google search, it goes up there. The requirements, it's just 35 years old. You have to be born here, 35, born here, or natural citizen and been living here for the last 12 years or something like that. It doesn't say anything about a felony record.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like I said, they just keep throwing all these speed bumps up in front of this guy, and
I think people are starting to see what's happening. Somebody came out with something the other day. I saw it a few different places, and they took the statistics like right off the government website. In 2020, they had 131 million registered voters. Well, if Trump got 74 million, how many votes are left? I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, like I said, it's like the bag of cocaine. Doesn't matter. Just move on.
Let's bounce back to Illinois real quick. Have you heard anything about, speaking of, anybody could run as long as you're 35, and if you're a convicted felon, or you could still run? What's going on with Juicy Smollett?
Oh, he's him and that Bubba Wallace.
Well, Juicy was convicted. He was supposed to serve 5 months in jail. He appealed. Okay, rightfully so. He could appeal. It might take a while to appeal. But I haven't heard anything from him. What's the court doing?
Like I said, it's when it favors a certain political party, or listen, this is it's disappearing. It's just disappearing. This is Illinois. Juicy Smollett, one of our greatest actors ever, and again, country. It's right. It's he likes sub sandwiches after 1 o'clock, and
Have you ever heard of Michael Franzese?
I think I have.
So he's an ex-mobster. He does a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
His father, who's deceased now, he died about 4 or 5 years ago, I think. He was the oldest living mobster at 103. When he was 92 years old, he was convicted and he went to jail for 5 or 6 years for extortion. I mean, this guy was a 24/7 mobster. But anyways, Michael Franzese, he interviews all kinds of different people. All different kinds of people. He actually interviewed the two brothers that beat up Juicy. Oh. And that video's out there on YouTube. And they're laughing. They go, this is all fixed. It's all fixed. I mean, everybody knows it.
Of course. I know. Like I said, but the best thing when the media don't, they just move on. It's just nothing to see here. So I heard today too, a little current news for our fans. A whistleblower who works the border down in Texas. You see that? Oh my goodness. Some of our agents are turning back illegal aliens, and they have to get back into the river and go back to Mexico. I mean, have you ever heard of such cruelty?
That's funny because a couple weeks ago I saw where some of the border agents were just letting them right in. They were
Well,
just letting them right in.
again, so
Encouraging them.
I guess the whistleblower's point is number one, that we're supposed to stop these people, but he saw them being stopped and told to go back, and that's horrible. So of course the news is going to run with this, and I guess Governor Abbott put a lot of barbed wire right up on the shoreline.
They started
building a
month
wall,
ago.
a lot of barbed wire, and so of course the news. Sometimes I watch it just to get aggravated. It showed one of our poor illegal aliens had cut himself and required stitches. And they took the time to show that on the news because the whistleblower who, listen, that's cruel and unusual punishment. So the Border Patrol doing their job, sending them back.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Well, we remember the whole fictitious story about our border patrols on horseback. They were whipping everybody. Oh my God! And that was another little. That's another little fake dossier.
If you hear anything from MSDNC, CNN, ABC, NBC, just don't believe it because they're not. They never tell you the truth. So you know it's not true. I remember when Trump took over the first couple years, and I'd hear, "Oh, they got him on this thing." I go, "Man, did he really do that?" And it's always false. So after the first couple years, I'm like, "Well, it has to be false because they're saying it is." You know, think about it. Think about this, and I want all your fans, Uncle Al, to think about this. Let's be realistic here. The Democrats and the deep state leak like a sieve when they want to, right? So they have basically given Trump and his family a proctoral exam. They went through all his tax returns, all his emails, all his text messages, although Trump doesn't text really, okay? They have all his information. If he did anything, it would leak.
Yeah.
You would know about it. So they don't got nothing. So what are they doing now? Oh, he paid somebody $100,000 and there was a bookkeeping miscalculation and he took some documents and this is all a con. This is a big scam. A big scam.
Well, hopefully all the fans that we've reached over the last few years are getting this and they understand. That's why we come to you from the dungeon.
From the dungeon, now new and improved in multiple states.
Oh, listen, that's right. So the next time we come to you, we will let you know. We'll update you, and disclosed locations must remain priority.
Confidential.
The deep state is watching and listening.
I was going to say I could put these videos on YouTube, but YouTube would probably ban them.